As a young man, he was summoned to the wars. Spent his best years with blood on his hands.
Hey guys, it's HomoMoto, and the video today is very hard to make for me. About 3 months ago, I shot a video titled "I Could Lose Everything," and that's kind of what's going on. The reason for that is my heart is giving me a lot of problems, and because of the heart problems and my bad back and some problems with my neck, I just can't do the job I used to do. And I've been out of work since December. I had a pretty good little chunk of savings built up, but it didn't last as long as I thought it would. I was getting short-term disability through work, but as you can see on the video, I could lose everything. I talked about how the doctor was giving me a lot of problems with the paperwork and the process for short-term disability. Well, it's finally caught up with me. My heart is still bad. It's not going to get any better. And I don't really remember what caused my back problems. Probably my weight, or at least part of it. But my neck problems come from back when I was a police officer. I had a suspect I was trying to detain. This guy was on all sorts of drugs. Got into a scuffle with him when I was trying to make the arrest. And this guy was like trying to fight a full-grown grizzly bear. I was not coming out on top. I broke the guy's jaw, dislocated his shoulder, and he still would not submit. I had no backup. I was out there by myself. And it seemed like everything I did to this guy just triggered him that much more, and he just kept on. Well, he ended up going for my gun. And in law enforcement, you have to wear what they call a level 3 holster. And a level 3 holster is just where when you go to pull the gun out of the holster, you have to hit the secondary release, not just the snap retention, but there's a secondary release. This holster was made by Safariland, and I thank them more than I can say, because they're the reason I'm still here. That God himself. This guy was picking me up, and I wasn't as big then as I am now, but I was still a bigger guy. This guy was picking me up by one hand, by my handgun, a Glock 21, I believe is what I was carrying back then, and he was slamming my head into the concrete. There was a curbing. He was slamming my head into the concrete. I ended up getting a concussion from that. But he also really screwed up my neck. I've got a herniated disc from that. I knew there was problems with my neck from that incident, but that was years and years ago, and I just let it go, let it go, let it go. And then it finally caught up with me. So my neck has a pretty significant disc problem. I've got a herniated disc in my lower back, but they can't fix that because I have heart problems. They tell me I can't be put under the knife anymore, so that leaves surgery out, and without my heart being able to sustain the anesthesia for back and neck surgery, I'm pretty much done. Sometimes riding this bike, I'll ride it 20 or 30 minutes, and it gets to hurting so bad that I have to stop and pull over. And I want to tell you that riding to that June moto meet from where I live, it was about a 4.5 hour ride. I had to stop several times taking breaks so I could continue on. What should have been a 4-hour ride took me a little over 8 hours. That's how bad the damage is to my back. But I had some money put up in savings, and it would have lasted me probably a year or so if everything went the way it should have. But when the cardiologist, supposedly, anyway, the cardiologist gave them a negative report to my short-term disability company, they decided to stop paying me. They didn't even take into consideration that my back and neck was the main reasons why I couldn't work. They just based it on the fact that my heart was bad, but I should have been able to do light duty. Well, my job never allowed light duty, and my heart is progressively getting worse. I think I've told you guys before, I'm a volunteer first responder, firefighter, etc. I was out doing a call about 2 weeks ago, and I was just directing traffic. 2 hours of that was all I could stand. Literally, I had to sit down. My heart started giving me problems. I started breathing heavily, and my skin, my color went from normal color to a pale gray, and that's typically heart related, so I just couldn't do it. Now, could you imagine me trying to do an 8-hour shift or even a 6-hour shift when I can't even stand for 2 hours? It's just not possible. So everyone says go to work, get a job. That's just not possible. And I can't do a sit-down job because I can't sit down for more than a couple hours. And a company's not going to let you just get up and go to the bathroom whenever you want, or get up and take a little stand-up, sit-down break every hour. So it's just not going to happen. So me working a regular job is not possible. I filed for disability through the state of Alabama, and like everybody else, the first time I was denied. Now, if Cigna would have continued paying me my disability, I could have lasted, a year, maybe even 2 years on the money I had in the bank. But they didn't, and I tried to fight them. My attorney advised me there was something called ERISA, which is what the short and long-term disability companies, not the state disability, but the short and long-term disability companies, that's the rules that they have to go by. Well, as per ERISA, if the company declines you, you're pretty much declined. Attorneys can't even help you. So there went the year or two's worth of money I had built up was gone in literally a couple months. Because of that, I'm having to go from living in this to living in this. My sister's let me park this thing in her backyard. It's hard to come to grips with. I've worked most of my adult life, and really I've started working since I was 15. I started working back when I was 15. Worked at Taco Bell. That was my first job. So I've been working all my life, and I've always worked at least 2 jobs. Sometimes it was volunteer, but I mean, honestly, it was either 2 full-time jobs or sometimes even a full-time job, part-time job, and college. So I'm not lazy, my health is bad. I've talked to a bankruptcy attorney, and I am going to be filing for bankruptcy. I've got an appointment with them next Wednesday. But when I called to set up the appointment, they told me that bikes are considered luxury items. Now, I've got disability insurance on my car and my bike, so the payments for them is not the problem, because the payments are being made by a third-party disability company. The problem is the bankruptcy courts might possibly consider my bike a luxury item, and if that happens, I'll be forced to sell it. The only thing that might be a saving grace is the fact that I owe more than half of what the bike's worth. The bike's worth about $4,000. I owe $2,300 on it, I think it was. Now, my sister was going to buy it outright, just, you know, put it in her name until all the disability stuff gets through, and then, you know, gift it back to me. But she can't come up with the money right now. So that being said, my bike is probably about to be gone. I'll find out Wednesday, and when I do find out, I'll give you guys an update. But if in fact the bike is gone, that will probably be the end of HomoMoto, at least temporarily. I will tell you this, I'll try to come back, and I'll even try to do some car vlogs every once in a while. But without my bike, I'm not me. I mean, I'm just the me I was before I got it. And what's really depressing is I didn't like that me. When I bought this bike and started riding, my life really turned around. And this bike lets me get my mind off of things, and it sucks knowing that I might lose it. I've got a few things I'm trying to sell, a few guns and crossbows and things along that line, that maybe I can get enough money up to keep the bike. But if I don't have it by the time that the bankruptcy, then I'll have to sell it if they don't let me keep it. Now, because like I said, I owe more than half the value of the bike, and the fact that I have disability insurance through my bank on the bike and the car, there is a chance they'll let me keep it because of how much I owe on it. So guys, I want you to keep your fingers crossed and be praying for me. This is a hard time of my life, and I don't want y'all to think it's because I'm lazy. It's with the heart problems and the back problems, I can't do the job I used to do. And because I filed for disability with the state of Alabama, if I try to work a part-time job, that'll void out my disability case, and I'm going to be going from potentially almost $2,000 a month on state disability to nothing by just working a part-time job, a couple $100 a week. I can't do that. I hope you guys understand and don't think I'm a slacker up my bum. I'm just not. I'm in bad shape, guys. My heart being messed up it has really messed with my ability to make money. It's messed with my mentality. I'm not the same person. I think I've said before, I like me since I've been on this bike, and since I've been shooting these videos more than I liked before. I gave up law enforcement 13 years ago to move back to Alabama. I was a Memphis housing cop. I gave that up to move back to Alabama to help take care of my grandfather that was dying of cancer. The job I went to paid a lot more money than what I made in Memphis, but it wasn't the same. I miss law enforcement. That's why I went back into volunteer fire services. I like helping people. And it's ironic, of all the help I've given people and all the good deeds I've done and everything, that I'm going through the stuff I'm going through right now. I'm not begging for money. I'm not. There's no way I would do that. Like I said, I am trying to sell a few of the toys that I've bought through the years. I don't need. But I don't think I'm going to get enough out of those few items to be able to pay for this bike by the time I go to bankruptcy court. So, if for some reason this is the last time you guys see me on this bike, and I hope that's not the case, I will try to make some car vlogs until I can get back on my feet and get another bike bought. Or if there's some miracle I'm able to keep this one, I'll continue on just like nothing happened. But we'll just see what happens. Like I said, this could be my last motovlog. this may be the last time you guys see this Tennessee state line on my videos. I should probably cut this off now. I love you guys. Hopefully I'll see you again, and roll tide.
I was a storm and I passed right over you, and I tried to eclipse the sun in the hopes that you love the tumble and spray in your face, and the sky broken by light.